Welcome, everyone. This is the first episode of our new podcast, Case by Case AI in Law. I am Justin Waltrip. I'm the head of engineering for Squarey AI, and I'll let Jag introduce herself.
Hey everyone, I'm Jag. I am the head of product for Squarey AI. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks. So, you may know me from our previous podcast called AI Driven, which was hosted by Cognistics, which is our kind of parent company. So I'll give kind of a little bit of background for those who might not be familiar. So Cognistics is a company that was spun out of CMU about 10 years ago by Sanjay Chopra and Dr. Eric Nyberg from CMU. And it was founded initially to be doing AI back when AI wasn't nearly as big of a topic of conversation as it is now, but they were doing a lot more traditional AI where we would go to different companies and kind of tackle hard problems that companies might have. So if they had a problem, we would figure out how to solve it and figure out how we could use AI to do that in a really efficient way. And we would just kind of build that solution specific for them. So a couple of years ago, we wanted to transition to more of a product focus. And so we were building question answering systems, and we recognized that the technology that we were building was actually pretty generalizable and could be used for a lot of different companies. And this was actually pre-ChatGPT. So this was back when we were using much more traditional AI technologies. But when ChatGPT came out and generative AI and these LLMs became really, really powerful, we actually realized that they were a really good fit for the types of tools that we were building. And so that's when we kind of started to actually build the Squarey platform. And at first, we were kind of working with a lot of different companies. We have worked with airports, we've worked with utility companies, helping to kind of answer customer questions. But eventually, we kind of recognized that there was this really big opportunity in legal AI. And actually, I'll let Jag kind of talk a little bit about what we saw there.
Sure. So in legal community, we saw a gap between what the products are there in the market. Like there are various products which provides legal AI services. And we saw the way the attorneys were using our tools were very different. They liked our tool because it was simple to use. It was not crowded by features, and it gave them the exact way they were using the legal cases right now. So we kind of identified this gap, which is there in the legal AI market right now, to kind of have a reliable AI product, which the attorneys can use with confidence. And that was our motivation to kind of build the product and curate the product more in the realm of having reliable and secure AI for attorneys.
Yeah. And so that kind of brings us to this podcast. So this podcast, again, we're calling it Case by Case AI in Law. And our goal is kind of to just talk about this AI transformation that we're seeing take place in the legal industry. So this isn't going to be specific to our product, but more like general insights into artificial intelligence and kind of how we are seeing it get adopted into this industry. And we want this to be a podcast that is both for law firms, but also for like other regulated industries where companies might have their own in-house legal team that would also be doing these same kinds of tasks. And so we're hoping for those people to just get some insight into kind of what we have been seeing take place during this transition.
So let's start with discussing why does legal AI needs a specific mention. I feel any generic AI tool provides like really fast answers and like the most curated answers in a very well formatted way. But in legal industries, what we need over here is not the fastest answer, but the most reliable answer in a way that every answer, every key point should be cited right there, explaining why are those points showing up and like reasoning out, taking them to the exact point in the document or audio or video where that particular mention has been done, like of a clause or of any other information that the professionals are using. And that's where I think legal AI differentiates in itself, like how it should be curated. But there are limitations right now. We cannot have a very, very scaled system to kind of just let the attorneys put hundred thousands of documents and start using the system. So, Justin, why don't you discuss a little bit about how there are limitations currently in the AI world for legal?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the issue that we have seen with a lot of legal products that are already out there is that they are trying to just fully replace the lawyers at the end of the day. Like they're marketing their technology to be able to do everything that a lawyer can currently do. And it's just like one push of a button to get a full report that you can send to a client. And I think personally, that is the wrong way that you would go about building this type of technology because generative AI does have limitation. There are things called hallucinations where these language models basically make up facts, and that's just kind of baked into the technology. That's not to say that the technology isn't really, really powerful because it absolutely is, but it's good at very specific things. And there are a lot of techniques that we can take on our side to make that performance much higher, or there are things that we could do that would make it much more likely for it to hallucinate. And so I think what I have seen is there's a lot of products out there that have these really cool demos, but when it comes to actually turning those demos into like a production ready system, that's where they fall short. Because in the legal industry, especially, even having like 95 or even 99% accuracy in some cases isn't going to cut it. Like there could be some very real world implications and ramifications of these hallucinations, especially when we are dealing with law and court systems and everything like that. So I think it is very important to understand that these systems they're really another tool in your toolbox. It's not this fully autonomous agent that's going to take over your job and do everything for you and let you kind of sit back and relax. It's a tool that you can use to be much more efficient and maybe get a lot more work done or maybe even produce higher quality work in some cases. But it requires your involvement. It's something that you need to be a part of. And I think we have been trying to build tools that kind of embody that philosophy. So, Jag, do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, and like on the same realm, Justin, like we definitely try to understand right now that where can we use AI in the legal use cases and where we cannot, given the all the limitations that Justin just spoke about. So our major philosophy is to have the design of the platform so simplified that the attorneys just feel that it is so familiar in the sense of having the similar structure that they see in their own data storage right now, or kind of curating responses that gels into their current workflow. Like if you were working on a certain format which has these 5 sections always mentioned when someone is kind of extracting this manually, we make sure that our workflow answers, our ultimate answer that comes from our platform does have all those aspects mentioned and is in a very familiar format which looks like has been done manually, but with much more granular details that AI can now provide them. So some of our customers say that it gives us a good kickstart because that can be reviewed, that can be verified with all the features. And it is so simplified in the way that AI gels into their workflow instead of making them learn and having that education curve over there to get along with how to use AI features, kind of stuff. So that's our generic philosophy. Have a simple design, have something that is auditable, have the citations in place for every key point that is important without crowding their workspace with popping AI features everywhere. So we also work with diverse set of documents. So I think Justin, you can mention about all the architecture stuff there.
Yeah, so I can we haven't actually described like what the platform does, so I can jump in a little bit with that. So
Yeah.
the Squarey AI platform is a place where we can unify all of the different sources of information that you might have as a law firm. So if you have contracts that you work with or like RFPs or all kinds of different legal documents, we will sync those into our platform so we can like take them from your SharePoint or your iManage or wherever else you currently have those documents, or you can just upload them on like a one-off basis into our platform. And then we have a system in place that allows us to build these very specific, what we call tasks that kind of mirror the different tasks that you would do on a day-to-day basis. So a couple examples of these would be pulling out specific clauses in legal contracts, maybe putting together a timeline, maybe putting together a report, maybe in a table format of a specific contract, maybe looking across lots of documents. So we have like lots and lots of different tasks that we could kind of build and curate with the help of these lawyers and these subject matter experts that directly mirror the task that they do, like you were talking about, and simple interface that they can come to, they can select their documents, and they can execute those tasks. So that's kind of the most basic thing that we do. I think the other feature that I just want to touch on, because I think it's super powerful, is we have a feature that allows us to do this at scale. So let's say you're a law firm and you get 10,000 documents all at once, and you have like 48 hours to review all of those. What we can do is we can take all of those documents and process them all in parallel, kind of in the background, and we can pre-annotate them. So we could go in and we could add highlights to specific sections. We could extract specific pieces of information or summarize certain things. And that way, when you actually go and do that review process, you kind of have this head start that allows you to get through that process much faster.
All right. So this is a good point to kind of summarize that we are looking to build a system which is easy to use by attorneys, extract exact workflows that they are currently working. And in the long term, we are looking at it as an AI that works as a dependable coworker in legal environment than providing an AI tool which is full with features and is difficult to adopt. Any other thoughts, Justin, that you would want to add?
No, I think you covered that great. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining me to kind of talk about some of these updates to kind of our company and kind of our new focus. And I think we will continue to use this podcast to talk about our kind of insights into the legal industry. We'll probably bring on other people to kind of get their thoughts as well. And we look forward to talking with you all again soon. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, everyone.